Edith Cavell was a special person in as far as she was something of a linguist at a time when very few nurses were linguists, because she learned quite a lot of fluency in languages at school, and she topped that up by working as a governess in Belgium for several years. She only began her training as a nurse at the age of 30, which would be really quite a mature age today, and even at that time was older than the average, I'd say. She had these special skills and special experience that made her almost uniquely suited to go and open a nurse training school in Brussels. Nursing had been something which had been evolving quite a lot, and by the end of Victoria's reign it had been seen as one of the great achievements in Britain. It was very much apprenticeship based, but people got experience in casualty departments and receiving room, seeing some trauma and so forth. But certainly in the 15 years or so before the outbreak of the First World War, the treatment of war casualties and trauma had been improved. There were a lot of conditions that were inherent on the tough living conditions. For example, trench foot, you also had tuberculosis, exposure, lots of different conditions due to the protracted nature of the conflict and the very unhealthy living conditions in the trenches. She would have felt personally responsible for the nurses that she was training. Some were, for example, from Germany, and so it was important to send them home. You had other nurses from France, you had nurses from Britain, nurses from lots of different countries who all needed to be given advice. In some cases, very young nurses. There was one who was even her personal ward. So, she was in loco parentis in charge of that particular nurse. Her story has probably become gradually forgotten in many places in the second half of the 20th century. But there has been rekindling of interest in her story in the time leading up to the anniversary of her execution. But nurses from the hospital have been laying a wreath at the foot of her statue in St Martin's Place in London on the anniversary of her execution ever since 1920. Even during the Blitz they did that, and so she's never really been forgotten at the London, her former training school. Well, a lot of people remember her last words that are engraved on her statue. Patriotism is not enough, I must not harbour enmity towards anyone. Her sort of forgiving nature, I think, was something which has struck people.